Let's be honest, the R1300 GSA is a lot to take in. It's big, it's bold, and it's butt ugly. But is the R1300 GSA actually any good, or is everyone just pretending?
So, Ross recently had the triple black.
Sure did.
And I had it for a whole day.
Wow.
And then Lucas, over New Year's, you had the option 719.
The green one.
The green one, which is very nice.
We both had the automatic version of the bike, which I wasn't sure how it was going to go, but I absolutely loved it. So let's talk about ASA. It's easy to switch on with just one button.
Yep.
And it's easy to switch while you're riding between manual and automatic.
Yep.
But if you're in auto and you decide you do want to shift, you can still use the quick shifter. Brilliant.
That's something I was doing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because why not?
I didn't realise, I thought you'd have to stop the bike to switch between manual and automatic,
Nope.
but you don't. And the thing that I was also surprised about when I kicked it into auto, I didn't think you'd be able to feel the actual shift of the gears.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be like auto car where it's just like a very seamless. It's still really clunky, like in a good way, like you feel that manual shift of gears, like very mechanical.
It's excellent that this is built around a conventional wet clutch manual box for a bike. It's not a torque converter auto that's been adapted to work with a motorbike.
And it works brilliantly. I found the bike great on the freeway and it was unbelievable in the dirt, even for such a big bike.
Yeah.
So that auto, I did about 200 k's of dirt roads. I started in manual because I thought, no, I'm going to have to ride this in manual. After about maybe 10 or 15 k's, I flicked it over to auto and just left it there. It was perfect.
Really?
Absolutely perfect.
So let's talk about the mechanics. How does the auto part work?
Wizards.
Yeah, okay, good.
You
Done.
can probably answer that.
Yeah, so the magic word is TCU. It's the transmission control unit. And basically, the simplest explanation is you have two solenoids. One controls the clutch and one controls the gear change. So what that means is that you don't have to do either.
So the automatic gearbox, it seemed to work differently depending on what riding mode you're in. Did you find that?
Yeah, it might be a learning module on the TCU, and that's pretty common in cars. I haven't seen it on a bike, but it does make a lot of sense. It means that the more you ride it, the more it is suited to you.
Yeah, okay. So with the auto, I seem to leave it in... I did have it in dynamic and enduro. In road mode, it was spot on. It was flawless. In dynamic, it would shift a little bit earlier than I would like to, and it downshift a little bit later.
Yeah.
But, you know, I got used to it. And such a torquey engine, it didn't really make any difference.
Yeah, it seems like no gear is the wrong gear, that's for
I think
sure.
that's it, isn't
Yeah,
it?
because I had a look, and when I was doing 60, it was in 5th gear.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it wants to, its mission is to get into 6th as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Yeah.
But it's smooth as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I know it's a big bike, so I'm curious how you guys went with the fuel range. Because for me, I rode for a day and I didn't have to fill it up.
Yeah.
How did you go?
Oh, they should call this the BMW long haul because, you know, I did like maybe 250 Ks and I thought the fuel gauge was broken. No, it's a 30-litre tank. And I think I used about 2 or maybe 3 dots worth of fuel on the fuel gauge, and I had more than half a tank after a whole day of riding. That's pretty awesome.
So I did Jindabyne for a couple of days. On the way down, it's about a 600k ride. I did fill up once, but didn't need to. The second day, we did 450k loop, including 200k's of dirt on the Barry Way. I filled up in Jindabyne at the start, and I filled up the next morning, and I probably didn't even need to. I got about 600k's of range out of it.
Yeah, amazing.
Insane.
Yeah. Okay, suspension. Absolutely loved it. BMW are known for their telelever and their paralever suspension.
Yeah.
There's no fork dive when you wrap on those front brakes. Incredible. Makes it really comfortable.
Yeah, this is next level refinement, and
Yeah.
just when you thought that the telelever system couldn't get any better, they make it electronically controlled. And not only that, it's dynamically controlled.
Yeah.
So the bike does all the thinking for you. And for the most part, that works sensationally well. So big thumbs up for the suspension. There is really no room to improve.
Which includes the adaptive ride height.
Yeah.
So me being 5'9", it raises, as you pull away, it raises up about 3 centimetres. But then as you come back in and you slow down, it drops it. So I could flat foot it pretty much, even for such a big bike. And the seat height's about 870 mil, because I had it set at its lowest setting.
Yep.
Easily flat foot it. Love the adaptive ride height.
So at 269 kilos, it's a pretty heavy bike. How did you find it braking-wise?
Yeah. Oh, it stops on a dime.
Yeah.
I mean, those brakes are amazing. And the ABS, for an off-road bike, perfect.
And you can switch it off in the dirt as well.
Yeah,
the ABS,
absolutely.
yeah. The TFT was great, and I love the fact this one actually has a separate nav unit, which is an option. But it's no longer on that screen. You can actually have the separate nav unit.
Yep.
Now the nav unit, this one, it's a brand new unit. They've updated it, and it works a lot better than the old nav unit. And on the app, I did actually work out how to set waypoints, which I had issues with before. So I had a much better
Have they
experience.
improved or have you improved?
It could be me. I had a much better experience with the whole app and nav. It did let me down once where it went a bit haywire, but on the whole, it was pretty good.
Noob admissions here. I didn't know that the nav unit was touchscreen initially, but once you kind of figure that out, it just makes sense. And the nav unit definitely feels like it's separate yet integrated to the rest of the TFT. So you don't give up any functionality for the TFT to use the nav. You can use one or the other or both in conjunction. You don't feel like you're losing on one section or the other.
And I will say that it's actually easier to use the touchscreen on the TFT than it is to put it into the app.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, much easier. When you're touring on this bike, you do have heaps of options. Now, I didn't have, the version I have didn't have panniers.
Yep.
And didn't have a top box, so I had my bag on the back, but you had the panniered version.
I had panniers. You can fit 2 helmets in the back easily, one on each side. You've got a top box. Everything's powered, which is
That is brilliant.
So good.
You can charge your phone in the pannier bag, and also the 2 little soft bags at the front, which we were talking about use case.
Yep.
You got a lot of use out of them.
I did. I just had the stuff, the essential stuff in those little front bags, and they were great.
It's a great use of space that's otherwise just completely useless. And I've never seen another bike use that kind of spot in front of your knee for luggage. It just makes sense.
It's also why the bike is as square and blocky as it is, because those bags, quick release on and off, you literally pull it off and they're away.
Yeah.
Really simple.
Lego bike.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Okay, let's talk about the adventure and touring capabilities of this bike. Now, I stand by my comments that the BMW R1250 RT is the best touring bike that I've ever ridden.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I haven't ridden BMW's own K-Series, and I haven't ridden the Honda Goldwing. Have you ridden those two?
No, and I'd love to throw the Rocket into that list as well.
Yeah,
just because.
I think it's another good touring bike. Apparently, I haven't ridden one. But if you want a bike that has all of the tech of the RT, but also gives you options, then the GSA is the one. I had no issues with it on the dirt. I was surprised. I thought, I was a bit nervous about taking it on the dirt. 200 Ks along the Barry Way, it was absolutely fine.
And the thing to keep in mind is, this is such a perfect bike for touring with all of these options as standard, such as the heated grips, cruise control, LED lights all round, lightweight battery, which is really funny because the bike is a tank, center stand, it's keyless, and phone storage with USB charger. It's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
And it's a lot of standard. And the base price for the 2025 model is about $33,800 right away,
Wow.
which is actually pretty good.
That is good.
Surprising.
We've had this talk a lot. If you want to be an adventure tourer, this is what you have to be as good as or beat. And at that price, you're going to struggle.
And I've got to be honest, I don't think any bike is as good as this one
Wow.
in that category.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
Okay, so thumbs down. We don't have too many negatives about this bike.
No.
The biggest thumbs down that I have, okay, yes, it's big, but the main issue is the looks. I'll be honest, this thing is butt ugly. Would you agree?
I wouldn't say it's butt ugly. It's definitely not my pick. It's big, it's mean looking, it's pretty bulky, but yeah, it's not for me.
I don't think any adventure tourer looks good.
Yeah, I sort of agree with that.
I actually didn't mind the R1300 GS. I thought that looked okay. This thing just looks, the best word is functional.
And it is, so it kind of makes up for it.
Yeah. And as I said, that's my only problem with it, and it's a problem that I can well and truly get over,
Yeah.
because it is such an exceptional touring motorcycle.
Yep. So, thumbs down for me. It's super short and sweet because this is almost perfection. I wouldn't mind there's a multi-rocker switch that you can change to adjust the windscreen or a couple of other things. And I'd like to just be able to press and hold the button to lower the suspension manually. The only reason why is it just helps my pillion passenger get on when we're about to set off. Now, it does level automatically. It does lower automatically when you're getting on, just wasn't low enough. Otherwise, perfect.
Nice.
So the fact that I only rode this bike for one day, I don't think is quite fair to rate it, other than to say I did thoroughly enjoy it. So over to you two to give it your Grin Factor.
Okay, so I took it on a massive ride. I went with some mates. We went down and spent 2 days in Jindabyne. First day, down the coast, lunch in Tathra. And I was sort of getting used to the bike that day, that first stretch of ride. And the boys were saying, what do you think? I'm like, yeah, I think I like it. Like, it's okay. It's not, it's big. And that was sort of my main concern.
Yeah.
Then we went up over Brown Mountain into Jindabyne. By the time I got to Jindabyne, I was like, this is wonderful. But I was a little bit nervous about the next day, which was about a 450k loop in and out of Jindabyne via the Barry Way.
Yep.
Now, this is a road that's about 200 k's of dirt that follows the Snowy River. It is picturesque. It is wonderful.
Awesome.
10, 15 k's in, I was fine, mate. I was having a great old time. The back wheels sliding out in the dirt. It was great. And it was comfortable. And I did that loop and I got back into Jindabyne and I felt, I was tired, but I wasn't absolutely wrecked like some of the other guys. The bike is just brilliant. It handles so well. The brakes are excellent. The power is excellent, but I was mostly blown away by that automatic gearbox. I don't know why. If you bought this bike, I don't know why you wouldn't option that up. Like, that to me is an essential option.
Yeah.
And anyone who says, I ride a bike because I want to use the clutch and shift myself, guys, get over it. The automatic on this is unbelievable, and you can still use the quick shifter if you want. So based on that, I reckon it's the best bike I've ever ridden. I'm giving it a 10. It was sensational.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Despite the looks. I can get over the looks.
Tough act to follow. So how do you rate a bike that quite literally defines the industry? When you think about big adventure tourer, you think about a GS. And every single manufacturer has this baseline to defeat. And when it's this good, what chance have they got? At 33,800 right away, it's going to be tough to beat. The only thing they could do to make me give this a perfect score is let me control the suspension and maybe make it a little bit more comfortable for my pillion. But with that said, it's an easy 8.5.
So we've ridden plenty of adventure tourers, and you can see them all in a playlist up here